A classic example of how easily masses of people can be moved into mindless hysteria is when H.G. Wells broadcast Orson Welles' War of the Worlds story on his Mystery Theater radio show in 1938, causing many people who happened to tune in to panic, thinking that the broadcast was a news broadcast about an actual alien invasion. The incident is a common case study in mass media classes in universities used to demonstrate the power of the media. Well, many people think that society has evolved from such ignorance in the information age, assuming people would no longer be tricked into believing a science fiction show was a news broadcast. The fact is, people are just as dumb, if not dumber, today. After the Discovery Channel aired a fictional show in 2011 titled Mermaids, the Body Found, which appeared on the surface to morons to be a documentary about scientists discovering a mermaid body. Social media exploded with tweets and posts about how mermaids were real by people who thought that one was actually discovered. Despite a disclaimer in the beginning of the show saying that it was fiction and the, quote, scientists clearly being poor actors, and the poor quality computer-generated graphics of the mermaid, millions of people actually believed that a mermaid body had been found. We're talking about a society of mindless mass media consuming morons who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality anymore. Famed media analyst Neil Postman explains in his historic work Amusing Ourselves to Death that, quote, under the governance of the printing press, discourse in America was different from what it is now, generally coherent, serious, and rational. But under the governance of television, it has become shriveled and absurd. Postman points out that, quote, we are urged by the newscaster to join them tomorrow. For what? He says. One would think that several minutes of murder and mayhem would suffice as material for a month of sleepless nights. He goes on to say, we accept the newscaster's invitation because we know that the, quote, news is to not be taken seriously, that it is all in fun, so to say. Everything about the news shows us this. The good looks, the amiability of the cast, their pleasant banter, the exciting music that opens and closes the show, the vivid film footage, the attractive commercials, all these and more suggest that what we have just seen is really no cause for weeping. End quote. Supposed hard news networks are primarily entertainment news outlets today, pretending to report on actual news, but every time a celebrity dies or an NFL player gets involved in a scandal, it's the lead story on the evening news of virtually all major networks. When pop star Justin Wiener, was arrested for a DUI, MSNBC interrupted a live interview with a congresswoman who was talking about the NSA illegally spying on Americans for the breaking news about Wiener's arrest. As Congresswoman Jane Harman was talking, host Andrea Mitchell butts in. Congresswoman, let me interrupt you for a moment. We have some breaking news out of Miami. Stand by, if you will. Right now in Miami, Justin Bieber has just been arrested on a number of charges. Oh, yes, and then the camera cut to a live feed from inside the courtroom, all because a celebrity got a DUI. Yes, a video clip of this bizarre MSNBC interruption was posted on YouTube and went viral, receiving over 6 million views. The same media frenzy occurred about a decade earlier when Paris Hilton was arrested for a DUI. CNN and other cable news outlets aired live footage being shot by a helicopter that followed her vehicle down the freeway as she drove to the courthouse. The, quote, news is mainly infotainment, entertainment made to look like information. The Learning Channel, now called TLC, went from airing educational programming in the 1980s and 90s to trashy reality shows like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo and other mind-numbing shows like Toddlers and Tiaras. The History Channel, which once consisted solely of documentaries about, well, history, slowly changed into a personality-driven reality network as well. It's not hyperbole to suggest that the television controls the world. Television introduces new words, dances, styles of dress, behavioral attitudes, and cultural norms which are instantly mimicked by millions. Shows like Will and Grace and Modern Family have been heralded by the gay community for helping to shift cultural attitudes around gay people. In the 1980s, The Cosby Show and Different Strokes are historical examples of how shows changed the way millions of Americans view black people and interracial families. Seinfeld brought us new words and terms into the lexicon like regifting and shrinkage. ESPN announcer Stuart Scott's famous "Booyah" is used by millions of people as a celebratory cheer. When Donald Trump's Apprentice first hit the airwaves, everybody began telling other people that you're fired. MTV's Candid Style show starring Ashton Kutcher brought punked into usage. And the list goes on and on as the average person is taught and trained by the television. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. Check out some of the previous videos and the playlists. And stay tuned. There's more videos coming soon.